your first business might fail, but the lessons you learned will never let you down. I would always say, please see what problems you can solve, then creating one.
Reviews and customer insights in today's digital world are actually shaping the brand and the business.
We have few reviews from Orissa, from Dehradun, where they have said, "Sir, aap Bhagwan hai." Ashwin, we will not just talk about Arivu, we will make patients feel Arivu. If everything is like a highway and we are reaching destinations without much hustle, there's something failing in that business. Be close to your book of accounts, because that's the clear message every entrepreneur should have in his mind.
Right.
What is his appetite he can take?
Correct.
Within a year, we broke apart. We ran into debt of close to 1 CR.
Sometimes the roles that we take for survival, the lessons from it shape our revival. Welcome to Bosswala. My name is Keshav Puri, and I welcome you all to this brand new episode, a new podcast with a person who personifies this statement word by word. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome my dear friend Ashwin Kumar on the show. How are you, my friend? Long time.
It's been a long time. Doing good. Thank you. How are you doing?
Great. Doing really well. Good to see you, man.
Yeah,
and the
nice
way
to hear the
your company is
introduction.
Thanks. When I was talking to you, I felt like this phrase suits really well to you. Yeah. And probably in the coming video, we'll try to get to know also that why this phrase suits you well.
Yep.
Super. How are you? How are things?
Doing good. Expanding Arivu is my core concentration.
Your business,
yes.
Arivu Foods.
Arivu Foods is my business. Mm-hmm. I co-founded and I'm the CEO of Arivu Foods now.
Yes.
So it's been a roller coaster ride. And now we are seeing some tides getting down and settling it.
Super.
To be honest, my entrepreneurial journey didn't start with a business plan.
Right.
And also, to be very honest, even the word entrepreneur was not familiar with me.
Right.
When I started in 4th standard, that was
Fourth
my...
standard. Yeah. And your age back then?
I was around 10, 11 years then.
10, 11?
Yes.
And you were thinking about business?
Yes. I mean, there is a reason for that. Mm-hmm. I mean, only when there is a supply-demand gap, your mind works.
Correct. But as a kid, how can you...
So...
First of all, how come you know about demand and supply as two words?
Yeah. My entrepreneurial journey didn't start with a business plan. It just started with making my demand and supply meet.
That's it.
That's the only thing. So, what I personally feel is whenever you want to do on your own, you need to have that hunger first and vision. First, you need to see what you want to do. Only then you will be able to digest that idea and produce it to your investors or any stakeholders. Till then, I mean, even your idea will not be clear and the investors also will not be clear what exactly you want to do.
Exactly.
You are the boss of your life.
Yes.
So you have complete control over it and you can choose what needs to be done in that. So, and after that, I joined Flipkart as a market research analyst, which gave me insights of how important data is and how important a data can drive your decisions and your presentation skills, and how important it is to do a research before you launch any products, because during
job teaches you that.
Yes, because that is when I thought how important few skills are.
Do you say that every entrepreneur should do a job in the beginning or should have an experience of that? Is it important?
See, not necessarily. If you have enough bandwidth of investment, maybe you can explore on your own. Mm-hmm. But if you don't have that bandwidth or the initial capital,
okay.
See, I always see two capitals in businesses. One is your network capital and one is your financial capital.
Correct.
So, to start with, I would prefer to have your network capital. So that you can develop only when you have a job or when you've been exposed to other segments or other sectors.
Makes sense.
Where you will come to know, okay, what is their business model, how they're running the businesses, how they're making their decisions, what is their internal process.
Correct.
Because it's all about how your systems drive your business.
Correct.
And how you place your system in the right position.
Correct.
So these things, maybe there's different views of different entrepreneurs, but my view is of that, build your network capital first. So that is where Flipkart helped me in terms of decision making, data driven decision making, market insights, which helps you to take decisions and which having learned over a period of time, you will be able to know whether that works or not. I got an opportunity to work with a managing director as a technical assistant. So he saw the potential and hunger in me, saying, okay, there's a person, young chap, who has some vision and hunger to do something in the company and not think as a regular employee. So that gave me insights into business, because being close to a managing director of a multi-crore company, his view of seeing a problem, his view of addressing employee issues, his view of encouraging new thoughts, ideas, that was a breakthrough for me, saying, okay, maybe I'm ready now to take that leap into entrepreneurship.
Super.
So that is when we co-founded Ashwa Biotech, a pharma company, a third-party manufacturing company,
Okay.
along with my cousin. So that initially it started in 2018, and within a year we broke apart. We ran into debt of close to 1 CR.
Okay. Oh my God.
Maybe it was because of faults what I see in me. I don't blame any other person for my failure. Maybe it was blind trust and poor oversight on revenues and poor accountability.
The detailing
and
was somewhere
management.
missed.
And blind trust. As I said, when we see we are working with a family member, it will be like, okay, he will not do anything which will jeopardize the whole situation and financial commitments. But yeah, that was a failure which I had to encounter in my initial days of entrepreneurial journey itself.
But must be shattered then, yeah.
It was.
Must have gone berserk by that.
Yes, I mean, it took me almost 10 years backwards in terms of my financial stability.
Correct.
And it had affected a great, a blow on my health as well, where I had to go undergo a brain operation.
My God.
Increased stress levels. But in spite of all these, there was one thing which didn't diminish or minimize. That was the spark, and to prove others wrong who had termed like the business as a sinking ship, or they said, no, there is no value in it now, or maybe we have great challenges in your administrative skills. These were the questions which came up to me. And it was almost like 1 or 2 months of introspection, silent introspection within myself, like what I did wrong and how can I correct it. So here I am sitting now, where people termed this as a sinking ship, Ashwa Biotech. Now it is very soon it will be sailing to Uganda. We'll be exporting to Uganda now.
Wow.
Third-party manufacturing company, and we will be exporting pharma products to Uganda now from Ashwa Biotech.
God.
So if you roll back now, and I always connect myself with Steve Jobs. I see him as an inspiration. So he used to always say, you cannot connect the dots looking forward. You just have to connect the dots looking backward. So when I look back now, all those dots, right from me being a agent for Student Planet magazine, to assignments in Singapore. And my professional journey in Flipkart and Sandur Manganese. So now I see maybe the life had different phases in me to be prepared for.
And to make you learn things.
Yes.
So that you understand.
Learn,
things better.
relearn, unlearn. I mean, this is a part of my entrepreneurial journey. So this is how it started, and 1 CR debts in Ashwa Biotech was not a joke. And now I'm sitting here almost debt free.
Wow.
And co-founding one more company now, Arivu Foods.
Arivu Foods, yes.
And in the entire process, referring to your initial quote, what you say, it's sometimes your survival shapes your revival.
How the beginning days.
See, basically,
because when you start as an entrepreneur, you're all alone, right?
Yeah.
And you've got no support, not much support, and then you try to, plan your day, go step by step. Go slow or go fast, that you decide. I don't know. So what was going on back then at your side?
See, Arivu Foods, when the founder approached me, he had done pretty much most of the groundwork because it was mentored and guided by Dr. Bhujang Shetty. So it was his vision where he wanted wellness products and food as a medicine and not medicine as food. Was the whole foundation of the Arivu's existence.
Is that only?
Yes.
Arivu means what?
Arivu in Kannada means awareness.
Awareness.
So we are promoting awareness through food.
Okay. So food is medicine and medicine is not food.
Yes. I mean, these are the phrases which we use in Arivu, which keeps us inspired and motivated. Few quotes are like, food should bring you wellness and not illness.
Correct.
Food should be your medicine and medicine not to be your food. So these are the phrases which keeps us motivated. And
we can relate also to that.
Yes.
Because we see that all around.
So this is how it all started. So I think we are pretty much placed very well with all the mentorship what we had received from Dr. Bhujang Shetty and the feedbacks what we are getting from the customers. And trust me, few improvisations in Arivu was done from the customer insights. So they were behind us saying, sir, we believe in the product. And till date, there is very minimal attrition, saying the person who had purchased a product in the initial phases is still our customer, he's still purchasing, he's still adding value to Arivu with his insights, because we take every customer insights as a report, insight report for product development.
And reviews and customer insights in today's digital world are actually shaping the brand and the business.
Yes.
You know?
See, basically, one of the main channels once you hit online, I mean, once you start your business, maybe is the online platform where you build authenticity of your product, credibility, keyword optimization, and a clean branding, where it acts as a stepping stone for the investors to come and see what is happening in this startup.
Yeah.
So this is something which we are creating the customer engagement.
And I think that's what entices investors to invest in your company, come to you, try to understand what you're doing, because the first impression, you know, as they say, is the last impression. So if that is solid, you can actually you can reap some great benefits from the world out there.
Basically, as an investor, they see what value the product adds in the market.
Correct.
And whether it has any unique selling proposition. So when it comes to seeds based, what we are doing, I think probably in India, we are maybe the second or third company doing this.
Okay.
There's not many companies who are focusing on seeds as a wellness product.
Okay. So yours is completely seeds based.
We are completely into seeds.
Okay.
Which is deep rooted in our tradition and has good health benefits.
But how did you recognize what's the real gap? Because when you talk about the gap now, we see from the outer space, and we find, okay, this is the gap, this is the gap, this is the gap. But there is actually one detailed gap which is connecting all of them and solving the problem.
Yeah, as I was mentioning earlier, everybody were like having doubts in their mind whether a packed health food can be as good as a normal diet.
As a homemade
product.
Homemade
because
food.
Even Arivu was into packed food space itself.
Yes.
But what differentiated us from the regular supplier is about the ingredients what we were using.
Okay.
Seeds, which is the most powerful and traditional ingredients. And as per my understanding, seeds were not getting the same attention it deserved. That is where we saw the gap, where in preventive healthcare, you need to have some ingredients which is real and functional.
Amazing.
In preventive healthcare. So that is where we found the gap and Arivu came into existence.
So you saw that there is one thing that people are not focusing on.
Yes.
And by using this thing, you can fill that gap which is there in the market and the people and the customers who are buying it. So that that can come closer and closer, and you can reap benefits from that. Shark Tank India's episodes, I recall them where sharks are also saying about the same thing, that what shelf life a product has, I understand it's good, but to scale, to do business out of it, to make money out of it in the longer run, you have to have a certain shelf life as well, because then only you will survive.
It's very important because all your credibility on the product depends on your shelf life reports and the nutritional value what you give. We are very happy that all our products, we are very low on carbs and high in protein, high in fiber. Now, the trend has been moving towards the healthy diet.
Yes.
They're understanding the importance of the protein in their diet, the importance of fiber in their diet. And for people who are above 40, 45, the importance of calcium in the natural form instead of being prescribed a medicine. And those are the insights which, apart from we driving Arivu, it is also the customer engagement which is driving Arivu now.
Right.
And they feel, we have few reviews from Orissa, from Dehradun, where they have said, "Sir, aap Bhagwan hai." Kyunki I was suffering from diabetes for so long, and this is something which has reversed my diabetes.
Super.
And I'm talking about type 2 diabetes.
Super.
So these are the testimonials where we upload it with pride on our page. And this is what is creating positive word of mouth, and that is creating a huge impact in health space.
Super.
That's the only foundation what we have. We don't
Superb.
prescribe any medicines.
But
days.
let's talk about the initial set of challenges that came when you started off as an entrepreneur. Apart from the 1 crore loss that you mentioned, any other challenge that you faced in the beginning?
To answer your question, trust was the biggest challenge.
In the beginning. What else?
Beginning. And
Beginning only.
beginning itself, because
Like,
when
apart
you
from
say-
trust, what else?
When you say a food product, so if I have to approach a customer and say, "Sir, this is what you have to try now," people will think twice.
Yeah.
It's not that everybody will accept you and that too when it comes to food. They will have questions because there were other players in the market who has not so good created a goodwill in this healthy domain.
And they don't trust that easily.
Yes.
Because food will go inside your body and it'll...
And educating customers was the biggest challenge.
Oh, okay.
So how did we achieve it? When I mentioned Dr. Bhujang Shetty, who was the mentor of Arivu, he used to do a lot of videos in terms of food being an important part of your life and not medicine.
Right.
So that gave us initial foundation on building on those. Thought. Other major challenge in food especially is the shelf life. So our team has worked tirelessly in getting the right product mix with the right quality and with the shelf life which is acceptable in the industry and with the proper nutritional value without compromising on the taste and the delivery. So these are the challenges in terms of food when we initially see.
Superb. Let's talk about the product, building a product line, development of the product, how it happened in your scenario.
See, again, I have to quote Dr. Bhujang Shetty in this because he used to do a lot of educational videos for his patients.
Okay.
So he used to say food can be your medicine in terms of reducing your blood glucose level without going for any medicines. And he used to advise his patients of importance of seeds, and he worked with a team of dietitians and nutritionists in getting the right product. So initially there were trial and error. We used to have different flour mix and seeing how the consistency is and are we achieving the right intent what we had initially.
Why that was important?
See, because as I said, trust. You have to build trust in your brand.
Right.
And how can we build trust? Only when we give results. So that was that was the utmost important factor in product development.
So you didn't go for revenue at the beginning, that I want this much percentage profit in that. You thought, let's go slowly, let's have lesser profits, but more of trust.
See, we wanted to change the way people look at food, especially healthy food. And as you referred, post-COVID, it was all about survival.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So survival means you have to fulfill your stomach, but with the right ingredients, right balanced diet was the key.
Right.
So that was the major stepping stone for the products, whatever we have developed now. we were lucky that even Dr. Bhujang Shetty tried on himself as well
Okay.
before giving it to his
customer?
immediate family members.
Oh.
And he reversed his diabetes
Wow.
through this methodology. So which gave us a lot of confidence and credibility on the product. And that is where we thought, yes, this will click now. Because we
Super.
have a doctor who has reversed his diabetes
Super.
through this method. And even his patients were completely trusting him on this. And yes, even now we are delivering results.
Amazing.
We have good collaborations. And every time we go for a collaboration, we ensure Arivu is ready for that collaboration. In terms of our products, in terms of our delivery, because all these are based on my previous experiences that your delivery and supply chain should be proper and no
match.
over promises
Yes. They
and
should
under
match
deliver.
well.
I would always say, please see what problems you can solve.
Correct.
Then creating one for yourself. Right? So,
My God. You're spitting truth bombs.
I mean, unless we go through the harsh reality of businesses, what it possesses, you will not be. I feel we cannot be successful.
Correct.
Because only when we know the hard paths to the success, we can anticipate things
Right.
and we can foresee things. If everything is like a highway and we are reaching destinations without much hustle,
Correct.
I don't think there's something failing in that business.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're following any shortcuts.
Yeah. In the longer run, it'll fail.
No, I mean, as I said, for any business to sustain and to maintain the same quality, we had gone through that process in Arivu. In terms of financial stability, in terms of investment that was initially thought and the final result.
So, what was the difference between
See,
what you thought and what you?
See, we were thinking in terms of maybe 5 to 10 lakhs.
Okay.
But it was much more than that, maybe 50 to 60% more than what we had thought initially. And that was only to get the right product mix.
Right.
I'm not talking about the packaging. I'm not talking about the resources.
Marketing, branding,
branding, all that funds. Initially, we didn't think of. First, we were thinking of solving the real problem in the market.
And being honest and true to yourself, maybe. No?
Yes.
Because
And you should be true to your intuitions. And
for the sake of profits, you cannot just
yes,
place anything.
See, Arivu's vision was all about making healthier choices for people and getting the right product mix and adding value to the investors' money. Because business is all about what value you add to your investors.
Correct.
This is a message for all of them saying, please be clear in your financials, in your be close to your book of accounts, because that's the clear message every entrepreneur should have in his mind.
Right.
What is his appetite he can take?
Correct.
Because Yashva Biotech, what I ran into 1 CR debt, unless my auditor came and said, sir, there is something wrong in your book of accounts.
My God.
You need to please revisit that. That is when I realized, without realizing I have landed in 1 CR debt, close to 1 CR debt.
Because the track was not there.
Track was not there. And as I said, as an entrepreneur, you need to have that vision, clarity, and control over your business.
So I think mentor plays a big role there.
Yes.
Because you yourself will not know before experiencing.
Yes.
But a mentor might guide you well. Okay, if you go this way, see, this will happen. So beware of that and take some other way.
See, there's one video which I used to see where it clearly states about the experience. The one person who has gone through the process, he has seen where the businesses fail and he has achieved what he has achieved. And there's one ex-entrepreneur who goes to him and he says, sir, I'm planning to do this. And he says, boss, I have tried the same methodology and this is where I failed. Please be careful and this is how you need to do. There are few fixed mindsets where they don't want to accept what others say.
Yeah.
And
Stubborn
to their intuitions and things like that. So he will also follow the same process, fail the same place where the other person failed, and then achieve results. And there is one other person who goes to him again and he explains the same thing. So this is where I failed. Now he will learn from that experience and he'll see how he can bypass that failure. Listening. You have to be an active listener, and I usually see your face as when they say face is the index of mind. If you see the face structure, we have 2 ears to actively listen,
Right.
and we have one brain to actively process what we want,
Correct.
and we have one mouth to speak what is necessary, not have unnecessary projections, false commitments. So your mind itself is like, your face itself is like a factory. How the business should run, you have to process yourself.
Right.
And for investors, false projections, false commitments is something any entrepreneur, including me, should be very careful of, because they go with that value. And most of the businesses, our entrepreneurs fail because of this lack of commitment and false projections. So entrepreneurs will be very good in pre-sales, but they forget how important the after sale is. Recently, if I have to quote an example, why people still believe in Arivu or say, yes, Arivu is for me and I am part of Arivu family, is because the hand-holding what we do to them. Even today, we had one client phone to me saying, sir, I have procured Java Rava, but I don't know how to do it. I want the methodology of preparations.
Wow.
So we have a team where our chef will connect with the person and he will explain over Zoom call.
Very nice, yeah.
How to do it, how to achieve the results you want to achieve, because these are seeds based where it has a different mechanism of preparations.
And it's an extension of your customer satisfaction
Yes.
as well, where you're connected to the customer for a longer period, which will
Business
probably...
can be successful only when you understand your customer needs and post sales activity.
Yes.
Where we handhold customers, because our chapati is something different. We need to add to the dough a little extra ingredients to make the chapati softer, to have a proper shape.
Correct.
And for dosas as well, the acceptance. So what we do is the customer engagement and the quality, as you mentioned, the sourcing, what we do, and customer engagement, what I said, there are real feedback what they give.
Yeah.
And based on that, each and every customer report, we take it as an insight report of the product quality and the taste.
And then you...
Yes, and we were able to do it consistently because of the suppliers whom we have identified and were there with us for last 2 years. From the initial days, we have ensured that our suppliers are consistent, because supply chain is where you will have to be very focused on before you start your product,
Right.
before you start your business.
Right.
These are the gaps which you need to fill before you identify, because this is something which I learned when I was doing my master's, where there was a subject called small business entrepreneurship in my module. So my mentor there as well, he was like, if you want to do a business, please don't sit in front of Google and don't do a business plan in front of Google. Make your hands dirty, hit the floor, hit the field,
Right.
see what's happening in the market.
Correct.
Understand your suppliers, understand the demand, understand your customer segment. Who are your customers? If you don't know who are your customers and you're preparing a product, and you will not end up in anywhere.
Right.
Even your marketing team will be questioning you time and again. Your sales and marketing team will be coming and hitting you with questions saying, sir, where is the target market?
Right.
How should we position this product?
Right.
So when we are launching a product, any entrepreneur should see about the segmentation, the targeting, and the positioning of the product. And I would always recommend them to do their internal SWOT analysis. What is his strength? What is his weakness? What opportunities he can bank on?
Correct.
And what are his immediate threats? So a SWOT analysis of an entrepreneur is very much required before he ventures into any business, because it might help him in preventing making any losses.
Super, yeah.
Or have a negative impact in their mind. Okay, business is not for me. I just have to go for a traditional 9-to-5 job.
I think if entrepreneurs are watching us right now, if they learn all of this and try to focus on that,
Yes.
it'll be a great thing for them to probably
focus
mindful of their business.
Focus, consistency, and being mindful of what's happening. When we launched Arivu in Shivamogga, We collaborated with a diabetologist in Shivamogga, and he was of the opinion that Ashwin, we will not just talk about Arivu, we will make patients feel Arivu. I was like, what is this feel Arivu? We will prepare products with your with your flowers. And so we made a campaign saying there is free breakfast on that day.
Okay.
Whoever comes and visits the new store opening in Shivamogga.
Okay.
So people tasted our product, and trust me, within 1 hour we were sold out.
Wow. Master in branding. Yeah, this is a master class.
I mean, people should see what they're consuming. And seeing is believing. And these are just basics of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And it don't require any schooling or any person.
Just observations.
Observations. Be mindful. Have situational awareness. What's happening around you. We wanted to build credibility, because businesses is all about building your trust and credibility among your targeted customers.
Makes sense.
So what other than doctors vouching or acknowledging the products, which is a health product, health benefited product.
Correct.
So this is the approach what we are following in our Arivu business model. It's not that we are spending heavily on marketing campaigns. We are spending heavily on awareness by in terms of hiring good resources, getting the right doctor channels, getting the right hospital network, and getting the right dietitians and dietitian recommendations and the customer engagement for this product, and maintaining the same quality and consistency.
So that's how you're actually planning it. And for you, marketing is this only.
Yes.
Like deeply rooted to customers and all of that. Let's come to, sourcing first. I had this question quickly. I'll ask you.
Yeah.
So did you stick to your supplier first from the day one and you stick to that today? Or did you change suppliers in the middle?
See, this is a very good question. Because initially who handhold you might not have the same consistency throughout.
Okay.
And once they know about your product, once they know about your intake of raw materials, there is always, as a businessman, you have to go back to your drawing board, again do some negotiations.
Okay.
Go back to your drawing board, see what is the market price of it, and because it's all rolls down to your economics.
Right. And since today it's such cutthroat market, cutthroat things are there.
Sometimes we work on very thin line margins.
No, but sometimes, what I feel that people stick to their suppliers. It's okay if they're charging 10 rupees extra on a single supply, but I'll stick to that because there is a kind of trust there. I like that guy, and everything is happening on phone because there's a longer period of, takeaway is happening. So then you stick to that, but there are others who really want to see, okay, where I get at lesser price, I'm getting raw materials, I'll switch to that. There's no hard feelings, nothing like that. It's all business.
It's all about how you see.
Okay.
And
but what do you take?
As per my understanding goes, the first approach also is very good. Okay, sticking to a first supplier itself, even though he charges a premium extra, fine, that's fine. But what I see is, when you mentioned the market is all about cutthroat competition, we will have to be very competitive in the market. Right. And also not compromise on the margins and not compromise on the quality. So as a businessman or entrepreneur, I would always recommend, always revisit what is your procurement price.
Got it. And probably search for another guy who's giving you at a better price.
Yes. It's always all about building the relationship that is there, but at the same time not compromise on your profit margins as well. Because business, at the end of the year, at the end of the quarter,
numbers.
Your book of accounts, your balance sheet speaks for itself.
But I think, in the beginning stage, you're right, because then you talk about numbers, but later on, time is money for you.
Yes.
So you don't want to visit again and again and do that drama. You just want a phone call and you're sorted because you're investing that time into something else to grow.
This is where the building team comes in a business. Why building team is important? To have this operational efficiency, procurement efficiency. After you start the business, 1 or 2 years down the line, if you're doing the same thing what you did 1 year back, then you have not moved anywhere. You're sitting in the same place.
Correct.
If you're talking to your suppliers, if you're talking to your potential customers,
then
I think you have not built a team at all.
Correct.
business is all about growing.
एक चना तो पहाड़ नहीं चढ़ सकता, ये वाली बात.
So if you ask me, like, even now if I'm talking to the suppliers, no, I have a team whose job is to ensure there is a statement of comparative things what we do. And it's all about weighing the pros and cons of the supplier. It's very important sticking to one of the suppliers, but at the same time it is always good to keep eye on other markets as well, other suppliers, how they are doing. Warren Buffett says your investment should be in different your apple should be in all the baskets, not in one basket.
Exactly.
Similarly, your suppliers, your customers cannot be one.
Very nice.
It should have multiple baskets, because if plan A doesn't work, you need to have plan B, right? We cannot say we are just working on plan A. Businesses will not work like that. Entrepreneurs cannot think like that. They should. Why we call an entrepreneur, or as a visionary, or why he has started business? Because he has seen something where others have missed.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And after starting the businesses, if you start missing things, then as I said, you will be the only person who is working in that business. You will not have a team.
Right.
You will not have operation efficiency. You will not have marketing efficiency. And who your end customers, even they will not be consistent with you.
So I see that you've gone online first and now you are planning to go offline. So why that decision there?
See, again, it rolls back to your financial capital.
Okay.
If you are having enough backing of investors, probably you can try offline as well.
Right.
But ultimately, business is all about showing the investors the value of the business. For that, initially to have your runway, we would prefer, personally, I would recommend exploring online, though the margins are very thin, but your presence and visibility increases. Ultimately, for any entrepreneurs, it's all about their brand visibility and brand optimization.
Right.
Which can happen online, because you would be creating good customer experiences.
Right.
You would be getting good customer ratings on your products, and there is not much of an investment for your office space
office
retail space.
Yes.
Because our product Arivu was all about how we retail online, offline. Offline, we thought we would have to burn enough money, because setting up a store, having its own costs, logistics costs, manpower costs, your inventory costs, and the warehouse. All these are costs which you have to factor in before you venture into offline mode. And the easiest low-hanging fruit for us was an online platform where we were doing very good, and we are continuing to doing good. We have got the Prime badge on Amazon.
Wow. And you've stick to Amazon, I feel.
Yes.
Why
Initially, we stick to Amazon because of the presence of the global exposure it had. And we needed to have that customers as well, because the sustainability of the brand, and as I said, adding investors value. Who knows, the online presence, there'll be some investors also who will be looking. As I said, your presence of mind, your situational awareness is very important here. As long as that is not fulfilled, you will not be able to see which is the channel which is suitable for your business.
Right.
So be prepared. Online, thin
but
margins.
How to earn more on, like, your thinner margins? Okay, I agree to that, right? But if you want to earn more online, what do you do? Because come on, you cannot survive on thinner margins in a longer run.
See, that is where you need to be consistently evolving in business space. Online is just a feeder for you and not the actual balance sheet profit. You need to offer what others are not doing.
Uniqueness.
What is your USP? Always they ask, right?
Yeah.
What is your USP?
Correct.
What is your unique selling proposition?
Correct.
And our unique selling proposition was a seeds-based diet,
Exactly.
which is not to an extent explored.
Not that heard of even.
And people in isolation, they take seeds. But what value we created as a product is we combined all those seeds into a product and we gave.
Very nice.
So you have everything in bits and pieces.
Great strategy.
As I said, how you connect those dots and complete a product is where your value as an entrepreneur and which value you will be creating for your investors and the value you create for your customers. It's all about what is the value you create at the end of the day. Initially, we had Amazon put on hold for a week's time so that we wanted to evaluate how the genuineness of the customers purchasing online.
Very nice.
And that gave a good result where we saw maximum sales in our website, where
Wow.
people were looking for,
Arivu.
we wanted to create this demand.
Urgency.
Whether really we have a presence or just because we are running advertisements, ad expressions.
It's a check. It's a
It's
check
a
thing.
reality check because
Reality
we need
check.
to do that. And that is when we saw our Arivu website sales increased. And people were calling and asking us, so we are looking in Amazon, we are not finding your product.
Where are you?
Where are you? Where have you disappeared?
Super.
That was a small brief pause for 2-3 days, which created so much response and so much communication between customers and Arivu.
And probably you have more confidence now because you
Now,
understand.
yes, that is the whole point of creating our own website where you will not have any platform fees. You will not be paying any platform fees or referral fees or commissions to any online platforms. You're your own boss there.
Correct.
It's only the charges what you will be paying for your payment gateways or your shipping partner. That's the only cost.
Yeah.
Where then your profit margin starts increasing. And then once you create that online presence, now Arivu, we have re-strategized and now we have thought there is a need for offline clinic. That is when after 2 years of online presence.
पर कभी कभार ऐसा लगता है ना, we know that we know everything, but in reality we know nothing. So how to check that?
Again, that
As a new entrepreneur, I think a lot of people might be wanting to know कि मुझे पता कैसे चले? How can I recognize that?
see, as an entrepreneur, I always suggest them to be humble. Be open to ideas.
Very nice.
If you're stubborn and if you have a fixed mindset, thinking that I have a proper financial backup, I can do anything,
Very nice.
I don't think you will succeed in a longer run. Always be humble, be rooted to your values. Only then people see value in you. Why I was trusted in spite of having failure in my business is only because of the loyalty and the perseverance which I had and the integrity which I had within myself, saying maybe I would have failed in that, but that is a lesson I have for the future businesses.
Very nice.
Or the current business what I'm doing. Because every time I refer any decision making in the existing business, I just sit for 2 minutes and just think, were I in the same position during my previous ventures, what decision I took there and how I should act now. So these are the lessons. Always be present, be aware.
What all people you should have? As in, what is the first 5 team or the first 10 team that you must have as an entrepreneur, as a budding or a new entrepreneur?
See, for Arivu, it was all about getting a proper product development team in place.
Okay.
Once we have a product development team, we need to have a proper production team in place.
Product development, then product
Production.
So in development, how many people in the beginning?
Development, we had around 4-5 nutritionists and dietitians.
Okay. Which are reasonably well.
I mean,
You can
reasonable.
take out salaries also easily,
Yes.
and you can do. Okay.
And the product manufacturing team, where we have a team of women who are associated with
women employees.
women empowerment, because this business is all about precision and perfection.
Yeah.
And it's not that men are bad in that, but the perfection and the fineness we get in women employees, I don't think we get that.
Maybe the
Maybe in
emotional
our business,
emotional
yes,
instinct is more there.
they connect to it and they stand by you, because they would also have something to go back and say, I'm not a housekeeping
Correct.
anymore and I'm working in a factory.
Correct.
So that is something which we are empowering them.
So how many people there? Production?
So now production, initially we started with 5.
5 people. And you were doing reasonably.
Yes.
Making up, the produce was reasonably well.
See, we were very lucky that with this minimal resource, we were breaking even from the month 1 month.
Arey wah, very nice.
We were breaking even. And that is when we thought, okay, now we were breaking even and making some profits. Why don't we add a nutritionist now? In-house nutritionist.
Got it.
Because outsourcing every time was an expensive affair for us.
Of course.
So what we thought, why not we hire a nutritionist?
Eventually.
So first the product development, then the production team came into picture. Then the nutritionist and dietitians, we onboarded them.
Got it.
And the food technologist
Got
to
it.
have new product development, because we cannot have one for life. We need to evolve what best can be done. So from flours, we came to snacks. Now, because of the sustainability model and be present, we are coming up with a malt which is again suggested by one of our customers itself.
Very nice.
So that is the interactions what we have
Engagement.
developed over a period of time in Arivu.
So apart from that, any like CAs or probably accountants?
See, few things you have to be wise in your business.
Mm-hmm.
Few things you have to outsource.
Okay.
Like the audit, company secretary, compliances is something which you can outsource and get it done. You need to not have an investment per se for a resource to stay in-house.
In the beginning.
Unless you scale to a certain extent where your revenue touches 5 CR, 10 CR
Very
a
nice.
month. Till such time, please be wise. Please be present in the situation and understand what can be outsourced with a minimal cost and what you have to observe on your actual balance sheet.
Right.
And that is what I would say everybody, first build your core competencies first. Build your core team where we say these are 4 pillars of our company whom we can rely on anytime we go. Once you do that, they will have a ripple effect and chain effect. They will start getting resources who will align with our vision. And now we have seen the time has come for Arivu to expand. And now we have invested on our sales force, high paid sales force as well, because few resources will not be affordable for few
of course.
companies.
When you want to scale up and grow, then you need to have.
See, that time, that is where we took 2 years to invest in these.
You had that
resources.
base form.
Because any businesses, first please develop your foundation first. Don't try to build a building without a proper foundation.
Right.
You will have cracks. It might collapse as well.
Right.
And people who are in it will not feel safe.
Right.
So Arivu, if you build a brand, I mean, I would like to have a quote on this. See, if people don't trust what's inside the pack, no amount of branding on the outside will save it.
Very nice.
So we
To the
wanted to
point.
focus on what's inside the product. What
Very
value addition.
important. Very important. Please share some customer stories. As you shared that aap to Bhagwan ho like story. Any other story which really
See how people are viewing Arivu, seeing Arivu is it's as their own.
okay.
And they are coming up with recommendations. They are engaging with Arivu dietitians.
Please make this product.
Please-
Make this.
See,
that
we had
product.
one professor who came to us repeatedly.
Okay.
So you have dosa, you have chapati, you have kapli flour, java rava, everything. But which needs at least an induction stove and electricity connection and a stove to prepare this.
Right.
But as a professor, I'm standing all throughout the day and something which as a malt option. Now we are planning to have that, which is our vision as well in Arivu, to see that we have a malt, seeds-based malt very soon, so that this is how we are engaging with customers and they feel that, yeah, I'm heard in Arivu.
Amazing.
So this is the success stories which we are building in Arivu. Like if you see our testimonials, there are people who are coming and saying, sir, I'm using this, please use this. And in Shivamogga, when we launched, there was one customer who used to buy Arivu from in Shivamogga and they used to get it couriered from Bangalore.
Right.
And when we said, ma'am, we are launching in Shivamogga itself, the day she came during the launch, she had around 5 to 6 members along with her who had come. And they were like, sir, my father-in-law is like, if not Arivu, I will not have anything.
Wow.
So we had to wait for 2 days for you to come to Shivamogga because we had promised her
Kya baat
that
hai.
we'll be coming to Shivamogga, we'll be launching there and you can have our products there itself.
Amazing.
So they were like, sir, you delayed by 2 days.
Aha.
I mean, that was a good problem we
Of course.
had.
Yeah.
So we were pretty much excited and overwhelmed by the response saying, oh, people are waiting for this product to come. Like how we created on Amazon, the short gap of 3-4 days, Arivu started getting calls.
Correct.
Sir, are you on Amazon? Now they were directing it to our website.
Very nice.
So these are the stories which we are building. And we have few testimonials from doctors saying their HbA1c was 8.2 and they have reduced it to 5.1. And now they're from pre-diabetic to non-diabetic.
Amazing.
From insulin dependent to just plain metformin dependent. So these are the success stories which we have built over a period of time. It didn't happen overnight. And as I said, acceptance was a major bottleneck for us, getting it accepted by our patients and maintain the same consistency for last 2 years and continuing to do that.
Thank you so much, Ashwin, for taking out time. It's been fantastic listening to you and to your lovely journey that you had and connecting those dots. and the way the way you are progressing towards your entrepreneurial journey. It's amazing to see. I wish you all the best for your future endeavors, whatever you do in life. I know that you will do good. Okay. And we have to be in touch.
Definitely.
I'll soon visit your office and we'll have some nice seed chapati and some nice
happy to do
gravy
that.
to do that. Thank you so much. Thank you, man.
Thank
All
you
right,
for
guys.
having me.
So this was Ashwin Kumar, CEO and co-founder of Arivu Foods, seasoned entrepreneur. And I am sure that whatever he has shared with you in this episode, you've made some notes of those insights, because trust me, these are words from real entrepreneurs who have done some reality checks. They have been on the ground, hustling, grinding, and then achieving to the great milestones that they have achieved in their lives. So thank you so much for joining us. This was Keshav Puri with you in this episode. Signing off. I'll see you in the next one very soon, because you know this for a fact that we've come up with this new series where we are bringing up some new stories. We are bringing up some new entrepreneurs on our episodes, so that you at the other end can learn something from it and can do wonders in your entrepreneurial journey as well, because we all know being an entrepreneur is not that easy. So we need to stick to what we want to do in life. You need to believe in what we really want to do in life, and then only we can hit that success button. But before you go, please don't forget to hit that like button. Share to the people who you think they may need to watch this, or they might learn something from it. Subscribe to our channel so that next time we upload any video, it comes to your feed and you can easily watch some freshly brewed content on your feed as well. And you always learn from our videos. This we'll make sure that happens. Thank you so much for joining Bosswala. I'll see you really soon. Get 1 year full access at just 999, where you get 500 plus courses. This is limited time offer. If you want to become a successful entrepreneur, download Bosswala app now. Link is in channel profile and description below.
Bosswala. Be the boss.